Hey guys, hello everyone, good evening to all. Hi Darshan, hi Deva. So guys, just wait for a minute. I will explain you all about the certificate and everything. Just let me give my introduction a little bit. First of all, so tell me in the comment chat that am I audible and visible clearly? Hi Akshay, hi Vivek, hi Girish. Hello, hello. Guys, am I audible and visible clearly? Just put some emojis in the chat box or put some fire emoji that or sound speaker wala emoji something. Hi Jackie, hi Ravi. Am I audible? Okay. So thank you so much guys for giving the confirmation. Yeah. I hope you all are doing good and I'm also good here. And so my name is Anam. I'm from LetsUpgrade, and I'm here to today to welcome you all for the SQL bootcamp that we are starting from today, and it's a 5 days bootcamp. It will be only for 1 hour, and everything like yes, you will get certificate, and it is free. You just need to mark your attendance every day, and then you can download your certificate on the end of this boot camp. While the program ends, you can download your certificate. And so yeah, just let me quickly share my screen and explain you all about the process. So I hope my screen is also visible to you all. And this is here how to do attendance. Guys, just a minute. No, there is no assignment for this boot camp. But you can you need to practice what sir teaches in the during the session. Importance. It is a valid certificate, and we have a collaboration with NSDC and ITM group of institutions. So yeah, you can add it to your resume. Please do not spam in the chat. I will explain everything. Sir will give you the brief about the session also. Please, so do not spam. Let others also ask their queries so we don't miss their important queries. Attendance is required. So here in the description box, you can see one link. It is that attendance link. It will redirect you the same enrollment page. So here, scroll down the page. Here you can see mark attendance toggle beside the day one of SQL bootcamp. So click here you have a scale on 0 to 10, like how much you like the session. Yes, you can rate it after the session also and submit your assignment. So for now I will give 10 on 10. And it is a feedback option, like if you have any feedback for us, you can share it here. For now I will give nothing, and then I will submit my assignment, sorry, attendance. And after submitting attendance, you have to reload the page, guys. So here you can see progress bar. It will increase day by day as you mark the attendance. And on day 5, here you can see generate certificate option on the day 5 of the program. So yeah, just like this, you need to mark your attendance every day. And this is the WhatsApp community group, Telegram channel link, everything you can get it from here. And you can join our community to get more updates, to get invite, and to get reminders about everyday session. So yeah, and this year we also have documentation, like it's a Notion doc. Everything is stored here. You will get lectures link and notes. Now it's not working, like I guess due to the traffic it's not working. But yes, you can refer it some other time. You can save it with you. And uh, and refer this array, and refer the Notion doc later. After the session, is there any recording will be available? Yes, the we will be uploading the recording after the session also, so you can refer it anytime. It is valid or not? It is valid. You can sir will explain you about the SQL everything. And how can I get notes? In the Notion doc itself you can get the notion notes. But yes, you cannot download the PDF, but you can store the link save the link somewhere and refer it anytime. So I will introduce our trainer for today, that is Satyam sir. He will give you the brief about the session more, where we will upload in the same YouTube channel only. We will be uploading the recording also. You can access it anytime. Please start the session. Okay guys, okay, so sorry for taking your time. So I will introduce Satyam sir. Hi sir, hi, good evening
Good
sir.
evening. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. How are you?
Hope you are good. So I'm good. So I'm good too.
I'm also good.
So you can start the session with giving them brief introduction about the bootcamp, and I have hand over the session to you, and I will take a leave. Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
sir.
Okay, guys. So, hello. How are you all? So, in this bootcamp, what we'll be going to do, we'll be just going to learn about SQL over here. Okay. So, tell me, guys, one thing you guys tell me today, that how many of you are from technical background, or how many of you are basically from non-technical background? Technical. Okay, what things you guys are basically doing? If you are in technical, so what you guys are doing, and if you're in non-technical, so what you guys are doing. Okay, non-technical. Engineering, okay. Maths, non-tech. B-tech, BE, okay. Non-technical. BCA, okay. Some of you are basically doing BCA, MBA, okay. B-tech, like some are there from the B-tech, computer science. MSc, basically you guys are doing. Okay, cool. So why? Okay, just tell me, guys. If you are like preparing for this SQL, so what other languages you guys are learning? Because SQL is a database. It is a query language. So are you guys learning Python, Java, or something else? Tell me in the comment section, guys. Java, okay. Searching for job, but like just by learning SQL, you have to learn something else also side by side. Python, RJS, okay. Power BI, all right. Java, all right. Java. So most of the people I can basically say are from Python and Java only, right? C plus plus, okay. Okay, Python plus SQL for cyber security. That is like also good. All right. JS. All right. Rust. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So what we'll be basically going to do today is we'll be just going to learn about this SQL, and we will like start from the very basic. It is basically a query language. Everybody can learn it. First of all, if some of you are like aware about Python, so I can basically say Python is the easiest language that is basically available in the market. But I can basically say one thing, that if you want to learn SQL, or basically I can say MySQL, SQL, or a structured database, AI and DS, okay, that is really good because I am also in AI only. I am like, I basically have a 4 year of experience, and I basically used to work as a data scientist. So in my company, we are like using SQL and MongoDB. We are using that is so SQL and NoSQL, and I'm also like working with Python. Yeah. Okay. So guys, I can basically say, if some of you are like aware about, okay, some of you are like learning about Python. So I can basically say, a structured query language, that is your SQL, is really easy as compared to Python. So if you guys are from non-technical background, so there is no such problem. You can like easily learn SQL in 2 to 3 days. Okay, and rest of the thing basically depend on your practice. Yes, Omkar, don't worry. We'll be going to cover each and everything. Each and everything I'll be going to explain you over here. Don't worry about anything. All right. So let's just start today's session. So this is nothing but this is your introduction of SQL that we'll be basically going to do. That is your SQL. All right. So first the thing that we'll be going to do, why we need database. Now, guys, tell me one thing. What do you think? Why we need database? Why we need database? Give me a real time example. Just don't tell me that we need database just to store the data set data. No, store data for future use, that is okay. But tell me one thing, that give me a real time example. Okay, store the picture to store the data set using our daily life. Okay, S3 storage service. Okay. Storing students' data. Okay. Like right now we haven't even worked on any kind of a data set, but you have like worked on these things. Okay. All right. Can anyone over here give me a real okay, hospital management? Okay. Understand the problem, online banking and all. Okay. Now let me just tell you what is basically a database and uh, why we basically need a database. First of all, let us just take an example of Instagram. How many of you use Instagram? Okay, okay. Most of the people use Instagram over here. Yeah, good. Okay, nice. Now let us just take one example. Let us just say if there are user one, or let us just take some example. Okay, let me just take some name. Let us just say Sagar is there, Ayan is there. So let me just take these names. Raja is there. So Sagar is basically there. Ayan is there, and who else is basically there? Raja is basically there. So Raja, and let us just say some one more name I'll be just going to take. Okay, let us just say this Mad is basically there, right? So if there are like four users, okay, four-person, I'll be just going to tell it user over here. I'll be just going to call it user. Now let us just say Sagar basically used to watch comedy meme, or I can basically say reels, right? And Ayan, what Ayan, like let us just say you guys have opened Instagram for the first time. Now what you will be just going to do over there, there will be multiple memes, there will be multiple images, there will be multiple reels. All right, but what you will be going to do, you will be going to click one of them in which you are interested. Let's just say if you are more interested in sports, yeah, I am right. I am, you are like more interested in sports, let's just say. All right, so what Ayan will basically going to do, instead of the fashion, instead of the comedy one, or instead of like something else, Ayan will basically going to click on the sports one. Let's just say any picture Ayan basically have clicked on the sports one. Then after that, what he basically did is he basically liked that post. Now just see one thing, if Ayan basically clicked on one picture, okay, one image, so if he have clicked on it, this thing is basically getting stored in a data set. What is the benefit of it? I'll be just going to share over here. Okay, so let us just say we'll be going to give points to Ayan. Okay, right now I'll be going to give 1 point. If Ayan has clicked on a sports image, I'll be going to give him a 1 point. Now after that, let us just say what Ayan basically has did. He basically really liked this sports meme or something that was there. So I'll be going to give it 0.2. Right now total points are 3. Right? So he has basically, after that, what he has basically did, he has again, he was like again scrolling, and there was again a post of, there was a reel, there was a reel with respect to sports. So what Ayan basically did, the real duration was 30 seconds, and Ayan has watched it till 25 seconds, or let us just say till 30 seconds. That means, and let us just say Ayan has watched one more reel, but he skipped it in 5 seconds. So over here, I'll be just going to say, let's just say there was a fashion reel, something was related to the fashion. But if Ayan has skipped it in 5 seconds, that simply means that he didn't like that particular, I can basically say, category. And if he has basically clicked on a sports one where the real duration was 30 seconds and he has watched it till 25 seconds or 20 seconds, that means he really liked it. Then after that, what Ayan basically did is he basically closed the tab of Instagram. Then as a if I am working as a data scientist in Instagram, right, all of these things that Ayan has basically did on Instagram, all of this data will basically going to store over there in the database. Now the database can be your SQL, now the database can be your MongoDB, Cassandra, or like anything. It will be a structured database or it will be a non-structured database, unstructured database and structured database. I'll be just going to tell you what are basically these things. So all the activities that a user to have did, what we'll be going to do, we'll be going to store each and everything in the database. And when the user to will going to open the Instagram next time, so same kind of categories I'll be going to show to the user too. All right. Same kind of a things I'll be going to show it to the user too. Similarly, let us just say Sagar is basically there, who is more interested in comedy and meme types. So I'll be going to show him the same one. So over here, we'll be just going to say, let us just say he has watched a reel. So I'll be going to give 0.5. So what are total points? Let us just say total points are 7. And I have set a condition over here. Condition, that is basically if, I can basically say if points are basically greater than 4. That means particular user have really liked that particular category. Yes, Raja, you are right, because of the ML algo. This thing that is basically known as recommendation engine. But you have to train it also. So for that, you need a data set. If you find it boring, the class is boring, then you can leave, no problem. Okay. So understood till now, guys? Why we are basically using a database? What is the use of database? Now let us just relate it to the real life. Let us just relate it to the real life. Now, if you guys are new, you might be just going to think, okay, what will we like, why we are basically using this database, right? You might be just going to think why we basically need to use database. If data is there, I can even store it in my local system. But just tell me, guys, why we are not using our local system? Tell me one thing, guys. Why we are not storing this thing in our local system? Why we are using a database? What do you think? Try to think, guys. You all of are going to be developer. Okay, large data set you can even store in your system. You can buy hard drives and all. Everyone can access. Yeah, right. Sharmi. Huge data. Okay. Huge data. Crash. Okay. Limited storage. All right. Yes. Why we don't store it in a local system? Because remote access, that is also right. Because let us just say if your laptop will going to crash, so you will be going to lose all the data set. Plus, if some data is there in my data, if some data is basically there in my laptop, so only I can access it. But what if my teammates or what if my colleagues basically want to access it? What if the clients want to access it? So at that time they'll be not able to access it. Okay. Now let us just say if data is there, I'm basically doing work from home, and my friend basically have a data set in his laptop. So what I'll be going to do? For sure, I'll be not able to access it, right? So we use database so we can like connect it from everywhere, and we can like do the work. So that's why we basically use these databases. All right. Yes, we can get it whenever we want. So this is how basically things work. Now let us just relate it to the real life. Let us just say you are working with client, and client has basically sent you some kind of a data set. Let us just say it is having 10k rows. 10k rows it basically have. So on the daily basis, you will be going to receive some kind of a data set. Maybe not only daily basis, let us just say in week you are getting 3 times. That means in a week you are getting 30k rows data set. Yes, we can do analysis on it, but for just see, for creating any kind of an app, for doing analysis, for doing any kind of a research, first we need data only. If you are in a data science, if you are in AI/ML, so AI/ML and data science is nothing without a data. First, you need really a good amount of data. All right. That's why data is important, guys. Now, that is what I'm basically telling you. Now, let me just tell you one thing over here. Let us just say what is SQL and NoSQL. Now, if I just talk about SQL, let us just say you have a tabular data. You have a data that look like this in a table. You can consider this is a Excel or you can consider this is a CSV. All right. Complete definition you can get on internet. Over here I am trying to explain you what database is and why we are using it. Okay. In the it is basically not an exam that you have to write exactly technical words over here. Okay. Yeah. Now, if a data will going to look like this in a table, so what you basically have to do at that time, we'll be going to use a structured database. That is basically going to be your SQL, structure query language. There, look, if we have a data set, if we have any kind of a data, so there are different type of data. Skills for natures. Just see, I'll be just going to explain you. Don't worry. There are different kind of data sets. So for different data set, we have different databases. Let's just say if you have a data in table like this, a tabular data you basically have. At that time, we'll be going to use to store it in SQL. But let us just say if your data is audio, if your data is video, if your data is only text, okay, if your data is image, then where you will store it? Let us just take an example. Yeah, let us just take an example. If we have a audio, some audio basically have the duration of 2 minutes. Okay, let us just say two person are basically having a conversation, and another audio is basically there that is of 10 minutes. Again, two-person conversation, right? Now, if I'll be just going to get, let me just give you one thing. If I'll be just going to get this thing 2 minute call, okay. So the conversation look like person one and person two. So they like have a conversation. Hello, hi, and again, okay. Then again, like, how are you? Over, I am fine. Now similarly, this will going to repeat. So how many you can basically consider transcript index, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if there is a 10-minute call, then sure it will be more than 8. Okay, it will be like this, more than 8. So what structured data set look like is, structured data set, if I talk about, if you want to store a data set, you have to define these things. Let's just say player, a column you are defining minutes, point, rebounds, assist. But what if there will be a new column that is like result or the final result, and you want to store it in a table? But before creating a data set, you have already mentioned that the data set that I'll be going to work with, it will going to have 5 columns. But what if in future you have the 6th column? What if you basically have a 6th column? What you will be going to do at that time? If you want to store the value, you will be not able to do it. But let us just say with respect to one file, you have A 41, 26 and 5, and then B 30, 29, 7, 6. Now there is one more file that will going to have C 22, 7, 7, 2 and one more value that is 0. And you want to basically, if you basically want to store it somewhere, you'll be not able to store it. For that, we need a unstructured database. Are you guys understanding these things? Schema is different, that we use in structured database only, nothing else. Mad Flash, what you are not able to understand. What I am explaining over here is that if you have a database, if you have a data that is in tabular format, this thing that I have shown you, then we'll be going to use structured database. If you have data set like this audio, where the values will going to change, let's just say data is audio, video, or only text is there. Text can be can anything. So where you will store it? Yes, I'll be going to explain, guys. Mad Max, what is your confusion? Mad Flash, sorry. Just see, guys. What I'm explaining is there are two type of data sets. The first one is that we will have a structured data set. What kind of a structured data set? Which is predefined. That column will be 5, and in future we will be just going to update the value, the row of it. Column will never going to change. If there are 5 columns will be there. Yes, this stream will be saved. In future you cannot add 6 column in it, but the rows can increase. This is the real world example only that I'm giving you over here. Let us just say if you have a data set that is regarding the employees detail. So what columns can be there? Can I basically say the name of the employee, first name of the employee, last name of the employee, salary of the employee, position of the employee? Okay, these things will be there. Or I can basically say experience of the employee. So 6 columns we have. So right now we basically have 6 columns, right? Guys, just see column you can basically add, but just see one thing is basically there where you will be going to get the data. Okay, if you have already defined a database, it will going to change the whole structure. Okay. All right. So like this is how we basically use it. Now let us just come to the installation part of it. That is the like main difference between your SQL and NoSQL. All right. Now let us just come to the installation part over here. So what you basically have to do, just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Now let's just start this thing. So let me just stop sharing my screen and let me just show you another screen over here. Present. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. Okay. I hope this is visible. I hope my screen is visible, guys. Okay. Now just see one thing, guys. What you basically have to do first is, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Now, what you basically have to do, guys, how many of you are using Mac or Windows or Linux? Can I get a confirmation in chat? Are you guys using Windows, Linux, or Mac? Sharmi, I have just given an example over here. If it is in a video, first, obviously, we have to store it like this only. But the structure cannot be defined. Because the audio can be of 2 minutes, the audio can be of 10 minutes. And if the duration will basically going to increase, for sure at that time, the values that you'll be going to insert in it, that will going to increase. Okay. So what we'll be going to do right now, I'm basically using a Mac. So I'll be just going to show you these things with respect to the Mac over here. So what you basically have to do is, first you basically have to install Mac. Basically, first you basically have to install this thing. First you basically have to install MySQL in your system. Just give me 1 second. So what you will be going to do, I'll be just going to give a proper documentation to all of you. So how you can basically install it in your system. So first, you basically have to use this command over there. What we are doing, we are basically running a curl script over here. And you just have to click enter. And if it will be going to ask a password of yours, so just write the password over here. This is one thing. If you guys are using Mac, now after that, what you basically have to do, you have to install it. So for Mac users, for the window, I'll be even going to explain, don't worry. For the Mac users, what you can do, you basically have to install it with brew. Okay, brew install MySQL. Workbench will be going to use, but before that you have to connect it to your local host. That is what we are doing over here. All right. So what I have basically did, I have basically mentioned this command over here. That is brew install MySQL. Now after installing it, what you basically have to do, you have to do brew service start MySQL. Okay. Okay. So what it is saying, service MySQL already started. Use brew service restart MySQL to restart. But what we are doing, we are not restarting it. We are starting it. All right. Now after that, what you have to do? Now you basically have to connect it to your local host. For that, there is a command that is like same in window and all. That is MySQL dot. Okay, how to install? This is what I'm telling you. Follow this thing, and after that, we'll be going to install the app. So for connecting it from the app to localhost, you have to install these things. Now, MySQL secure installation. Now, guys, whoever is basically, I can say, using a Mac, side by side, you can try these commands and you can try to install it. If you face any kind of a problem, you can just let me know. Yes, this is for Mac, but for Windows, I'll be even going to show you. Don't worry. Okay. Yes. So right now it will be basically going to ask you for these things. Would you like to like validate password components and all? Yes and no. It will be going to ask you. Okay. New password. So whenever it will be going to ask you a new password. So at that time, what happened? Yes, I'll be going to share the link. Don't worry. So what will basically going to happen over here, guys? That initially the password will be set to space only. So you just have to click enter only over here, nothing else. Okay. Now, okay. Your password does not satisfy the current policy requirement. Okay, so what you will be going to do, you can basically set the password, whatever password you basically want over here, nothing else. Now what we'll be going to do over here, this is the only thing that you have to do with respect to the terminal, and after that you basically have to download the Workbench over here. So we'll be simply going to download the Workbench over here. Okay, so what you have to do, you just have to write MySQL on over here. I hope my this screen is visible. All right. Now just click over here. Over here you will be able to see multiple options are basically there. So you just have to click on the download one. Okay, and after that what you basically have to do over here, you basically have to over here you just have to scroll it down and you have to basically click on MySQL community GPL downloads, and after that you will be able to see all of these things basically. All right, you just have to click on MySQL Workbench. And over here, let's just say if you are using a window or something else, Ubuntu Linux, Microsoft Windows you guys are basically using, or let's just say Ubuntu you guys are basically using, or you guys are using Mac. So you just have to click on this download one. So it will just going to start the download for you. And over here, two options will be there, that whether you want to log in with the Oracle or something. So you just have to do no thanks, just start my download. Guys, right now we'll be going to start it from the very basic, then we'll be going to move forward. All right, it will be a step by step thing. Now if you have like downloaded it, what you basically have to do, you just have to go to the download one. Let me just show you that also. All right, what you guys basically have to do is you just have to go in the download section. Let's just say I'll be just going to go in the download section, right? And you just have to like click over here. So it will like start your download. All the things that it will be going to ask you, just permit it and it will basically going to download. So let's just click on it and it will basically going to get open. So it will like take for the downloading, it will going to take a little bit of time. So this is how it will basically going to get open. Let me just share this particular screen only, so I'll be able to see your comments also. Sorry, not this one. Yeah, so this is how it will basically going to look like, guys. Okay, this is basically a workbench. Yeah, just going to tell you, wait for a second, guys. And if you guys are basically using Linux, what you have to do, instead of the brew that I have just shown you, you just basically have to use sudo in place of it. And how you can like do it over here, let me just show you. So this is basically your this thing. Just see, for the Mac you basically have to follow these things, and for Windows there are a step that is basically mentioned over here. Okay, you just have to basically go over here just once. Okay, so what you basically have to do over here is that for Windows it is like also mentioned that you just have to go over here, you just have to download it. And after downloading each and everything, what you basically have to do is you basically have to run these commands. Okay, after clicking after clicking on the finish button, when you will be able to install the Workbench, you just have to run this thing, that is MySQL user root password. So initially whenever you'll be going to see the password, so it is empty. Just don't try to mention, just don't try to mention your this thing, your computer password at that time. Okay. Yes, I will also provide the data set, don't worry. But in the initial phase, what we'll be going to do, we'll be going to work with demo databases. But after the end of this bootcamp, we'll be going to, I'll be going to share this documentation with all of you, don't worry. In the one link of Let's Upgrade, you will be going to find out these things. You have to run it in the terminal. After downloading the Workbench that I have just shown you how you can basically download it from here, just select your system, that whether you are basically using Ubuntu, whether you are basically using a window or anything. After downloading the Workbench, open your terminal the same way that I have shown you. You just have to open your terminal and you just have to run that particular command, so you will be able to connect it to your local host. All right. Yes, because I'll be going to share the documentation. Like, you just have to click over here. Like for the Mac, I have even mentioned. And if you are like using it for this thing, if you are using it for Ubuntu, right? For Ubuntu, what you can basically do over here is just instead of brew, you can just sudo, and this thing. This is the only change that you basically have to do over here for installing it in Ubuntu. Yes, you basically just see, if you are getting an error, restart your terminal. What you can basically do, there is no need for the restart of terminal. I think you have did something wrong. First, you don't have to download it first you have to download it from the Workbench only, guys, in Windows. Yes, you will be going to get the PDF format. So motivational, you what you basically have to do is, first you have to install the Workbench, and after installing the Workbench, you have to connect it from your local host. That's why that 2-3 commands you just have to run in your terminal. That's it. Okay, don't worry guys, from the very basic we will learn these things. And in the one link you will be going to get all of these documentation that I am basically showing you over here. All right, now let me just do a little bit introduction about the SQL over here. So this is basically going to be your SQL over here, guys. So this is your local host. This is how it will look like. You just have to click over here, so you will be able to connect it. So this is your basically local host. And over here, you will be able to see that this is nothing but this is your database. This is nothing but this is your database over here. And over here, we'll be going to write any query related to it, where it will like show us the data set. So this is the thing we'll be basically going to do tomorrow. So do you guys have any kind of a doubt till now? Okay, really sorry. I think my screen was not presenting previously. So this is how it will going to look like. Over here, these are your connection. Let us just say this is your local host. That is mean that is your local. But if you have to connect it to some other this thing, to some other server, so that will going to mention over here. So you just have to double click it, and over here, this is basically the thing where you will be going to write your queries. And this is basically nothing, this is going to be your database. So tomorrow we will be going to do all of these things. Yes, I have repeated, no one. Like this is how you, whenever you will be going to open it, it will going to look like this. So this is a local host. Local host basically means that that is you. You have connected it to your own system. But if there is a server, let us just say I want to connect to a server, so that things will going to show over here. You have to connect it first, then it will going to show you over here. There is a basically an option, like you just have to, after that you will be going to click on the local host, right? On the top of it, you'll be basically able to see connect to database. So over here you have to mention all the credentials. Don't worry guys, this is just a first day. We'll be going to learn each and everything slowly. Okay, don't be in hurry. We have more 4 days. We'll be going to learn each and everything. Yes, you can download it. That is what I'm telling you. Just go on the Workbench. You'll be easily able to download it the same way that I have shown you. And after that, you just have to run that particular command in the terminal just to connect it with your local host. Let's just say if you have not did the this thing terminal command. So whenever you'll be, let's just say I'll be going to double click on it. So I'll be able to connect it. But if you will be not going to connect it to your local host, it will just going to show you an error and it will not pop up this window. Yes, these are databases. Yes, Brajesh, if it is not detecting, then you have to run that particular command. I'll be just going to share that particular sheet with all of you. So you just have to run that command. So you'll be able to connect it to your this thing, local host. Guys, do you have any kind of a doubt till now? How was the session? Did you guys like enjoyed it or you not enjoyed it? Okay, enjoyed, fine, yes, okay. This is just a first day. We have seen what is database, Prashant. We have basically seen the installation part of it. The next 4 days we'll be going to learn about each and everything, all the queries. We'll be going to do a mini project also. Okay. Okay guys, so this is it for today's session guys. So rest of the things we'll be going to cover tomorrow. All right. Okay then guys, bye bye, have a, okay, not a good day, good then guys, good night each and everyone. Okay, bye bye guys, take care, bye.